Hum, what would you do if you watched someone deliberately pour boiling water on your disabled child just because they were playing at a community playground? The scream still haunts me. My daughter, Ava, crying out in agony as the scalding water soaked her clothes and burned her skin while the woman who did it stood there smirking. That woman, Margot Preston, had no idea who she was messing with. Let me know in the comments what you would have done, because I still relive that moment every night. I'm Dr. Lauren Hayes, a trauma surgeon at Stanford Medical Center. 3 months ago, I took a prestigious position in their trauma department, which meant moving with my 12-year-old daughter, Ava, to Silverwood Meadows, a polished suburban community outside San Jose. Ava has been partially paralyzed since a drunk driver changed our lives forever 2 years ago. But she's the brightest light I know, resilient, kind, and stronger than most adults I've met in my career. We moved to Silverwood for a fresh start. The house was perfect, single-story, wide doorways, an open layout perfect for Ava's wheelchair. The community boasted top-tier schools, accessible parks, and supposedly family-friendly neighbors. What the realtor failed to mention was the HOA queen herself, Margot Preston, a woman who believed community standards meant making life hell for anyone different. Perfect hair, perfect athleisure outfits, and always a wine tumbler glued to her hand by noon. From day one, Margot found problems with us. First, she tried to block Ava's accessibility ramp. Then she complained about Ava's therapy equipment in our backyard. No matter how many approvals and permits I showed her, it only made her angrier. "You know, Dr. Hayes," she said once during a surprise inspection, voice dripping condescension, "real families understand that maintaining property values means sacrifices. Not everything can be about accommodating one person." I brushed it off at first. I'm a trauma surgeon, unpleasant people don't rattle me easily. But I had no idea just how deep her hatred ran. Until that sunny Saturday, 3 weeks ago. Ava was having a good day. Pain manageable. Spirits high. The playground was just down the block. Her new friends, Liam and Maya, were already there. Their mom was gardening out front, keeping a casual eye on the kids. "I'll be fine, Mom," Ava promised, flashing her determined smile. I watched from the window as she expertly steered her chair down the sidewalk, her auburn hair gleaming under the sun. I turned back to my work, case files scattered around me, but I kept my phone nearby. Always nearby. 40 minutes later, I heard it. A scream. Ava's scream. The kind that slices through your soul. I bolted. Didn't even grab my shoes. And what I saw when I got there will never leave me. Ava slumped in her chair. Her clothes drenched. Her skin blistering. Steam still rising from her shoulders. Across from her stood Margot, clutching an empty teapot, looking at Ava like she was trash. Time slowed. My trauma training kicked in. Assess. Act. Save. Don't touch her. I barked to the stunned kids, rushing forward. The burns were bad. 2nd degree. Maybe 3rd. Someone call 911. I ordered, voice sharp with the kind of authority that doesn't leave room for questions. Neighbors poured out of their houses. Margot just stood there, stiff, unbothered. "They were being too loud," she said loudly, as if that justified it. "Your daughter had the nerve to tell me this was a public playground. I just asked her to leave." My hands worked fast, cooling Ava's skin with water from the fountain nearby, not cold water. That could make burns worse, just cool enough to slow the damage. Margot kept talking. Maybe next time she'll listen when an adult tells her what to do. This playground wasn't built for special cases. That was it. I locked eyes with her. My voice steady. My rage simmering under clinical control. "Margot," I said, low and calm. "You just assaulted a disabled minor with a weapon capable of permanent disfigurement. You've caused 2nd-degree burns over at least 15% of her body." Her smirk faltered. "As a trauma surgeon specializing in burn injuries, let me be clear. My daughter will be in agonizing pain for weeks. She may need skin grafts. She will have scars because of you." Margot went pale. Then Michael Rivers, our retired cop neighbor, stepped in holding up his phone. "I saw the whole thing. Got it all on video," he said grimly, including her admitting she poured it intentionally. The sirens arrived. The police arrived. And Margot? She tried to spin it. "I'm the HOA president." They were being disruptive. I just tripped. The officer shut her down hard. "Ma'am, HOA presidents don't have the right to scald children with boiling water. Put the teapot down and keep your hands where I can see them. When they arrested her, she screamed about lawsuits and false accusations. Nobody cared. The hospital treated Ava like royalty. Burn specialists, pediatric psychologists, everyone rallied for her. Detective Martinez called me 2 days later. Dr. Hayes, Margot Preston is being charged with assault with a deadly weapon, child endangerment, and hate crime enhancements. Her comments about your daughter's disability are all on record. Margot's husband, a high-powered attorney, tried threats. Didn't matter. The evidence was ironclad. While Ava healed, the neighborhood transformed. People who'd been too scared of Margot started speaking up. The HOA called an emergency meeting. Margot was unanimously removed as president. Ava's friends decorated our yard with handmade signs and balloons when she came home. At the next HOA election, an Inclusion and Accessibility Committee was formed with Ava as its honorary advisor. When Margot finally stood in court hair a mess, designer persona stripped away, she pleaded guilty. The judge didn't hold back. 3 years in prison. 5 years probation. Restraining order from Ava and our home. Ms. Preston, the judge said, this community will not tolerate the weaponization of authority to harm the vulnerable. Today, Ava's burns are healing. But what matters more, she's thriving. She now speaks at schools about disability rights. She's mentoring other kids about standing up to bullies, even adult ones. And the playground? It's now fully inclusive ramps, adaptive swings, sensory panels, all because one brave girl refused to be pushed out. At the ribbon cutting, Ava sat proudly under that blue sky and said, when you build spaces for everyone, you build stronger communities. We don't fight hate with hate, we fight it by making things better. Margot thought she could break my daughter. Instead, she made her stronger. She thought she was teaching Ava a lesson about knowing her place. She did, but not the one she intended. If you believe in fighting for justice and love seeing entitled bullies get exactly what they deserve, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and tell me, what's the worst HOA story you've ever heard? Because here in Silverwood Meadows, we made sure the right side won.